Some intentions never reach the world. No one sees them. No one praises them. No one writes them down. They do not become headlines. They do not become stories. They do not become achievements. But Allah sees them. And maybe that is enough. Because not every sincere intention becomes a visible success. Some intentions stay hidden. Some are buried under responsibility. Some are delayed by poverty. Some are stopped by illness. Some are cut short by death. And some continue through someone else, through a child, through a student, through a word you planted and forgot, through a sacrifice nobody understood, through a road you opened but never walked yourself. Because sometimes you do not become what you intended. Sometimes your intention becomes someone else. A father may never study, but he wants his child to learn. A mother may never memorize, but she raises someone who does. A teacher may never see the result, but one sentence from him lives inside a heart for years. A person may spend his whole life trying to reach something for Allah and die before the door opens. But Allah saw the direction. Allah saw the sacrifice. Allah saw the intention, and that matters. Because actions are judged by intentions, and every person receives what they intended, not only what they finished, not only what people counted, not only what looked successful, but what was carried inside the heart. People may say, "He didn't make it. She never reached it. They failed." But with Allah, they may still be counted among those who were on their way to Him. That changes everything. Because a person may leave his home seeking Allah. He takes the first step. He leaves comfort behind. He starts the journey. But before he arrives, death reaches him. The world may say, "He never made it." But Allah does not measure like the world measures. He started for Allah, and that intention already had weight. Sometimes, the body does not reach the destination, but the heart already has. And this is where many people misunderstand life. They think, if I could not finish it, it meant nothing. But with Allah, a sincere intention is never nothing. The prayer you wanted to wake for, but sleep overtook you. The charity you wanted to give, but poverty held you back. The knowledge you wanted to seek, but life became heavy. The service you wanted to offer, but the door closed. The change you wanted to make, but you kept struggling. If it was real, Allah saw it. What people never saw was never hidden from Allah. There is a person who sleeps, intending to rise in the night. His heart wants to stand, his soul wants to pray, but sleep overcomes him. He wakes after dawn, and maybe he feels like he lost. But Allah saw what he intended before his eyes ever closed. Even sleep could not erase the intention, because before his body rested, his heart had already turned to Allah. And there is something even deeper. A person may sincerely ask Allah for the rank of the martyrs. He may never enter a battlefield. He may never be seen as brave. He may die quietly in his bed. But Allah knows what lived inside him. Allah knows what he would have given if the door had opened. Allah knows what he carried, even if the world never saw it. So do not measure your life only by what happened. Measure it by what you truly carried for Allah. But listen carefully. Intention is not fantasy. It is not pretending. It is not saying beautiful things while living in the opposite direction. A real intention leaves marks. It changes choices. It costs something. It follows you. It refuses to let you live the same way. A real intention does not disappear when things get hard. It keeps pulling you until something changes. And sometimes it follows your children after you. Imagine a man who never received what he dreamed of. He wanted knowledge, but poverty stopped him. Responsibility stopped him. Life carried him somewhere else. Every morning, he left tired. Every night, he came home tired. His hands carried work. His face carried years. But inside him, there was a dream that refused to die. He could not open the books himself, so he opened a road for his child. He worked quietly, sacrificed quietly, prayed quietly. No one called it noble. No one made a story out of it. To people, he was just a man trying to survive. But in his heart, there was a niyyah, a direction, a hope. Maybe my child will reach what I could not. And years later, that child opens the books, learns the words, carries the path, studies what the father never could. And people look at that child and ask, how did this happen? But maybe the answer began long before in the tired hands of a father no one noticed. Maybe the child's path was watered by the father's intention. Maybe the knowledge people saw in the child began as a silent prayer inside someone else's heart. That is the hidden life of intention. Sometimes the fruit grows far from the tree that planted it, and the one who planted it may never taste it in this world. But Allah does not forget.
This is why you should never underestimate a sincere intention. Maybe your intention will outlive you. Maybe your prayer will become someone else's path. Maybe what you could not finish will be completed through someone you helped. Maybe your child, maybe your student, maybe someone who heard one sentence from you and carried it for the rest of his life. The world only sees the final person standing. Allah sees every hidden hand that brought him there. Not everyone sees the harvest. Some people only plant. Some people only water. Some people only protect the seed from dying. But with Allah, none of that is lost. Even in the most visible acts of worship, Allah reminds us that the outer form is not what reaches Him. The meat does not reach Allah. The blood does not reach Allah. What reaches Him is what was inside, the surrender, the sincerity, the hidden truth of the heart. And that is the difference between a dream and a niyyah. A dream may stay in your imagination, but a true intention moves your life. It makes you give something. It makes you leave something. It makes you endure something. It makes you choose differently when no one understands why. A real intention is not proven by how loudly you speak about it. It is proven by what you are willing to carry for it. So if your intention is for Allah, let it shape you. Let it change your choices. Let it guide your sacrifices. Let it survive disappointment. Let it continue even when the results are hidden. Because maybe the result was never meant to appear in your hands. Maybe it was meant to appear after you. Think about the people who shaped your life. Maybe they never saw what you became. Maybe they never heard you thank them. Maybe they never knew that one word they said kept you from giving up. Maybe they corrected you once, encouraged you once, prayed for you once, opened a door once, and then disappeared from your life. But something they gave you remained. This is how intention travels, quietly, from heart to heart, from one life to another, from one sacrifice to a future no one can see yet. A teacher may think, I only said a few words, but those words may become someone's return to Allah. A mother may think, I only raised my child, but that child may become a source of guidance. A father may think, I only worked, but that work may have carried a generation. A friend may think, I only helped once, but that help may have saved someone's faith. Do not belittle what is sincere. Small things are not small when they are for Allah.
But there is a warning here too. Not every desire is intention. Not every wish is sincerity. Not every emotional moment is truth. A real intention has direction. It may be weak, but it is honest. It may fall, but it returns. It may be delayed, but it does not disappear. It asks something from you, and that is why you must protect it, because intention can change. It can start pure, then become polluted. It can begin for Allah, then slowly turn toward people. Praise enters, ego enters, the desire to be seen enters, and the action may continue while the soul begins to leave it. So renew it, quietly, again and again, not because your heart is false, but because your heart is fragile. Say, Allah, this is for you. If it becomes mixed, purify it. If I drift, bring me back. If ego enters, remove it. If I never see the result, accept the intention, because I do not trust my heart without your help. And then keep walking. Even if the road is long, even if people do not understand, even if the result is delayed, even if you never see the harvest, because maybe your job is not to finish the story. Maybe your job is to begin it sincerely. Maybe your role is to plant. Maybe your role is to protect the seed. Maybe your role is to open the door for someone else to walk through. And if it was for Allah, none of it disappears. So do not say, my effort is small. Make the intention sincere. Do not say, I could not finish. Maybe Allah wrote the journey. Do not say, no one saw. Allah saw. Do not say, it did not matter. If it was for Him, it mattered. Because intention is the invisible thing that can outlive your body, expand beyond your ability, and reach places your hands never touched. Before you ask, what can I do? Ask, who is it for? Before you measure your life by what you accomplished, look at what you truly intended. Maybe the thing you thought failed is still alive with Allah. Maybe the dream you could not reach will grow through someone else. Maybe one day, when the records are opened, you will see rewards from intentions you thought were forgotten. A prayer you never completed, a path you never reached, a sacrifice no one understood, a child you raised, a student you helped, a word you planted, a door you tried to open, and you will realize nothing sincere was lost. No intention for Him ever died. People saw what ended. Allah saw what continued. So protect your intention. Renew it. Return it to Allah again and again, because your body will stop one day. Your voice will stop. Your hands will stop. Your work will stop. But a sincere intention can keep walking long after you are gone.